Why do bad things happen? That's a good question. You hear it all the time. People say, well, there can't be a God because why would he allow all these starving children and all this terrible stuff to happen? But God does allow bad things to happen. And I believe there are many reasons for that. And I'm going to break it down into 3 things. And I'm sure that there's more to it than this. Well, I know there's more to it than this. Because God is working on every single person. He's knocking at every door, every minute of every day, all over the world, to try to get people to come back to Him and have a relationship with Him and bridge the gap between us and the Father. So the reasons that bad things are allowed, I'm sure are a multitude. But for me, it's easier to break it down into these 3 things. First of all, there's the laws of nature. Now, of course, God can supersede, break, whatever, the laws of nature, and has, and will again. Raising people from the dead, healing the sick, opening blind eyes. Obviously, God can do anything He wants. But the laws of nature aren't normally broken by God. They're set into place for a reason, and they happen. If you are falling off of a 50-story building, you're going to go down, not up, and you're going to hit the ground. There's just certain things that are going to happen. If you're going around a sharp curve in your car at 200 miles an hour, you're not going to make it. Centrifugal force or whatever. The laws of nature also include the things we've done to ourselves and to this world, like the toxins in the air and the things that we eat and whatever causes cancer and those things. Those are parts of the laws of nature. And God does not always go against the laws that have been set out for us. The second thing that I think is important to consider is free will. He gave us free will so that we could make our own choices. And boy, do we like making our own choices. And we make a lot of bad ones. We can choose to drive our car 200 miles around a very tight corner. We can choose to jump off a building. We can choose to take drugs. We can choose to drink till we're drunk all the time. We can choose to do things that we shouldn't be doing, that are against God's will. And they cause a lot of bad things to happen. Our choices. The third thing is evil. The powers of darkness in this world that have been since the beginning. Evil is always going to try to make us make bad choices. Evil is always going to try to draw us away from God, to change our relationship with Him, to distract us, to lie to us, to steal our joy. So if you put together evil, which causes us to make choices like war and anger and murder and stealing and whatever, and can rationalize anything we do, you put together evil and our will to do things, and our feeling that we should be able to do whatever we want, and the laws of nature that are in place that God very rarely breaks. There's a lot of bad things that are going to happen. There's going to be war. People are going to starve. People are going to die from illnesses. And I'm not saying don't pray against these things, because the power of prayer is amazing. And I think that's one of the reasons God allows some of this stuff, because then we can pray and we can have faith and we can see Him work. And that's important to our growth and to our walk with God. But to say that there's no God because if there was a God, a loving God, He wouldn't allow all this terrible stuff to happen, is to say that He will always change the laws of nature in on our behalf. You're not going to fall off that building today, or whatever, I'm going to catch you. Or that He's going to stop the evil, which is part of the world right now, and will be until Christ returns. Or to say that He's going against the laws of nature, or that He's going to change our choices and make us so that we don't have free will. Those aren't going to happen. Very rarely is God going to just make everything right, because we're the ones that caused everything to be wrong. We listened to Satan. We chose. We created. Evil will be around us all the time, like a roaring lion or whatever, seeking whom He may devour. And we have to be wary. We have to be careful and follow the laws of nature. We have to be careful in our choices. Make sure that our choices line up with God's Word. And we have to pray against evil and ask for God's protection. And when a bad thing happens in our personal life, pray that God will bring us through it. And definitely pray for healing. Definitely pray for new jobs. Definitely pray for a place to live. Because God does answer those prayers. He is a miracle working God. And He is working in your life, but He's also working in my life and in the life of everyone else around you. And when things don't happen just exactly the way we want them to, we need to realize that we're not the only ones that this is about. God is good. He is the only good. The only truly good. And His will and His way is perfect. And I want to encourage you that God's protecting us because we follow Him. And He is over us, and we are doing His will the best we can, and He will make things good for those of us who love Him. Don't let your faith waver by looking at the evil in the world and wondering why God hasn't stepped in. Christ is coming. I believe he's coming soon. And even if he's not coming soon, he's coming for each of us someday. None of us are guaranteed tomorrow. So live what we can for him now. Realize why things happen. And have faith. And trust. That is what we can do in this life. And make good choices according to his word. God bless you. Have a great day. And I hope this was of some value.